feel like this is a really popular request that I get from clients, and I feel like a ton of other designers get as well. And that is changing the image that someone sees when they hover over. So a lot of the times I'll see this on like a meet the team section on a site. You'll hover over and it will either like change to another image where the person goes from professional to, unprofessional, or, just normal, I guess, where, it's like a lifestyle picture, or they're with a dog or something like that. That's a popular use case. Or you can have almost like a before and after. So instead of a slider, it's just you hover, you see it before, let's say it's a property renovation, you hover and then the other image comes up, which is the after. Whatever the use case is, there's a really simple way to do this. Now, the one caveat that I would say is you can't have a hover state you can technically have a hover state, but for all intents and purposes, you can't have a reliable hover state on mobile. So when you're designing your site and you're trying to get this hover effect in, just bear that in mind that you will need to think of something else for mobile. So this is going to be for desktop only. And yeah, if you want it on mobile, you have to figure something else out. So with that in mind, let's get into it. So on our site here, we've got a image down here, and let's say we want to change this. I would go into the editor and I'm going to place an image behind the image. So in this case, we'll click on this image and duplicate it, and we'll put that just over there, and we'll just change this image. So if we go into our stock imagery, we will put an image of, let's just do another woman and pretend that it's her. So add image, and then we will change the shape to match. Actually, I think the shape will stay. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, so if I put that behind, it should match. Okay, perfect. So hit save, hit exit, and if we look, the image is flush over there. Okay, so for this to work, what we need to do is use a plugin. So it's a Google Chrome plugin, and it's called the Squarespace Block ID Finder. It was developed by a lady called Heather Tovey, and the wonderful Will Myers bought it, I don't know, a few months ago, and is making some updates, I believe. So one of those is, you hover over your IDs and it gives you the actual like the shape and the color of what that block is. So if I click on this, it's going to copy this block's ID. So every block, every section, every page has an ID on Squarespace. This is a completely free plugin, and you can utilize it to identify the blocks. So click on this, then we're going to go pages, we're going to go down to website tools, and then custom CSS. In here, we're going to paste this, then we're going to do our squiggly brackets, and then we're going to say and hover, squiggly brackets, and then opacity, and we're going to turn that right down to 0. So what happens when we hover, let me get rid of this, is it changes. So the image changes. Now if you want that image change to be a little bit slower, then you can say transition, and then we'll make that half a second. So you can see it's a bit slower. And if we put that outside of our brackets as well in there, it'll be the same both ways. So it's 0.5 seconds in, 0.5 seconds out. So you can see, and to all intents and purposes, it just looks like the image is changing, and it's not so much the image on top disappearing. So if we quickly look at our code, you want the block ID and hover, opacity 0, transition if you want it, and then if you want the transition out, you can add that there as well. So hopefully you found that useful. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and hit subscribe. And if you want me to build your Squarespace website, you can get in touch using the links in the description.